You know Canada, the character in Hetalia? You know how he's always unnoticed and nobody even remembers who he is and everybody mistakes him for America? I have a theory about why nobody even cares about him. He just exists. Nobody even cares about him. He's just kinda there. He's quiet most of the time. The only people who ever even noticed him in the actual anime were Cuba, America, France, and maybe Japan. Japan might have noticed him. Maybe. Now, there isn't any proof of this theory, but this is just what I think. So, Canada, he was unwanted as a child, which I guess is why he's so quiet, and nobody even noticed him. His best friend, or brother, or whatever he is, America, was always the center of attention. So, I mean, yes, he was jealous of his attention, but he looked so much like America, so everybody mistakes him for America. He would say, in Canada, not America. Which is what he usually says in the anime, which, when he got mistaken for America. I guess this is weird, but he could have been bullied and picked on when he was younger or newer or whatever. So he just spent so long being unnoticed. Nobody even noticed him as he grew older, which eventually later in the anime he ends up, when nobody even notices him anymore, he ends up committing suicide. I mean, he'd get tired of nobody even noticing him. He would always think, am I unnoticed? Am I invisible because you ignore me? Nobody even cared about him. Nobody even considered anything about him. He almost didn't even exist to anybody. He was just kinda there. Like I said before, he was just there. Nobody noticed him, nobody cared about him. It's like he didn't even exist. See, he often thought about how happy he could be if he stood out more. But he tried to achieve his goal, but he never could achieve it. He got so close, but then something happened, and he just couldn't. He couldn't change, even if he tried. He tried so hard to change, to be different, to actually be recognized and not thought of as America, mistaken for America. He was tired of it. He was thinking, I can't be thought of America anymore. So eventually, maybe in the next series of, maybe in the next season, not series, the next season of Hetalia, which season 6 is coming. It could be coming soon. It may be coming this year, in 2014. Canada commits suicide. He's never seen on the anime again. He commits suicide. He's tired of being unnoticed. He just can't live with himself. He's unnoticed. The only one who ever notices him is his bear. America and England and France notice him sometimes. Cuba notices him sometimes. Not very often, but sometimes. But probably the character who noticed him the most were the viewers. Everybody felt bad for Canada. You just couldn't imagine the anime without having that one character that nobody seemed to care about. You just can't have an anime without that character. The one that nobody even noticed, nobody cared about. The one that none of the other characters even noticed. I feel like I was one of the only people who actually noticed Canada. The only one who felt Canada's pain. The only one who wished I was in the anime to help him become noticed. If only this could happen if I was in the anime, I would help Canada. But yet again, hopefully Canada doesn't commit suicide. I mean, you're just there. In the past, this is a theory about what happened. In the past, him and England were good friends. Canada messed something up, and England got extremely mad at him and told him to just leave him alone, never speak to him again, to kill himself. This was when Canada was growing, expanding, becoming bigger. This is when Canada first stopped being noticed. After this happened, nobody really seemed to notice him anymore because often he was never at the meetings. He was just locked away in his house, his room, crying. Thinking about everything he had ever done. Cutting himself. Getting his own blood all over his face, all over his clothes. He didn't care anymore. He just wanted to get it all over with. He wanted to kill himself. He just couldn't. He couldn't find the strength to kill himself. He just couldn't. He knew he had a purpose. He knew he had all that, but he couldn't stand his pain. But he stayed, knowing all the stuff that everybody has ever taught him. He has a purpose. He was perfect. He had a use. He wasn't just an invisible. He wasn't invisible. He just felt invisible. Maybe this is all in my mind, he was thinking. He could have been thinking, maybe this is all in my mind. Maybe it's all just a dream. When I wake up, everybody will be happy. I'll be noticed. Everything will be how it used to be. But maybe he's in a coma. All of Hetalia is just a dream. A dream as Canada slowly dies. And everybody, as Matthew slowly dies. Arthur and Alfred just standing there, watching Matthew die. It was horrible. He was a victim of bullying. Nobody cared about him. He was a little bit like Italy, like how he got picked on a lot. Thought of as stupid, except Italy was noticed only because he was stupid. He was stupid, but everybody grew to love Italy in the end. But nobody really grew to love Canada. Canada was just there. He didn't even exist to anybody. He only existed to his bear. Sometimes to America, sometimes to France, and sometimes to England. Rarely to Cuba, but that's beyond the point. In the anime, Canada says, we're best friends, right? To America, and all that kind of stuff. So, they're not brothers, but still, that's another theory. Considering that America and Canada could be twin brothers. Considering they look so much alike. But yet again, this couldn't be true. But his best friend, or brother, or whatever it is, got all the attention. He was often mistaken for his more popular and more of a mess up of a best friend or look-alike, America. Maybe Canada was the look-alike, but I prefer to think that America is the look-alike of Canada. Because considering how much America and Canada look alike, the only difference is their hair, the hair color. Their hairstyle is the same, their hair color is just different.